think we are live. So this is going to be my finishing up stream. I don't know what else to call it. This is like a secret project, a secret giant project that I've been working on for the last couple weeks, couple days, couple weeks. Building my own custom Stompa. As you can probably see, it is the normal Stompa kit, but we flipped it. So for anybody that knows what normal Stompas look like, this would be the torso here, but it should be like that. So we went ahead and flipped it around. I've built completely from scratch and from random bits some legs for him. The main support is just some plastic tubing I had, and then these are the normal Stompa legs or Stompa feet, um, and then lots of other extra bits added on there. We've got so many guns added on. I don't know if I turn it, yeah, if I turn it sideways, you can see them all. We have like even more than the normal amount of guns. We've got the flamer down here, lots of little big shootas. We've got the belly gun if we want to run it as a custom Stompa, and I did magnetize that so that it can be swapped out. No worries. Run it the other way. This little gun here moves as well, which is kind of cool. Got lots of missiles and things stuck on the front, and then we've got the big main gun here up on his shoulder. Instead, it's also magnetized, and also this little one on his head is magnetized. And I just do that, one, to make it easier to transport. I can take a couple of these things off, less likely to get broken. Two, it's just kind of fun in game to rotate around and move them like so. And then yeah, as you can see there, he's got a crazy big chopping claw thing that I've made there for him. So what we need to finish this guy off is I want something for over here, and I would also like to bulk up his legs and his arm a little bit more. I don't really have any like cables or cords or anything on him at the moment. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to set him back a little bit more so you guys can see him there. What I have here, and you guys might not have seen these before, is where I work, we end up with a lot of scrap airlines and things like that, replacing parts of machines and whatever. So I have a couple old ones from there, and I've never actually used these on models before, but I think it's going to work out pretty good. So these are plastic airlines. They're very flexible, but they're surprisingly sturdy and strong. This one just has a little connection bit on the end, which I might actually keep. It's fairly heavy because it's metal. Yeah, so what I'd like to do is like right here is looking a little bit sparse. The upper part of his claw chainsaw thing there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use a piece of this to make like a little, power cord or whatever for that. I probably will attach it somewhere down here in the main base of the arm. And then following that, what I'm probably going to do is use a little bit of it down here on his legs. I might use the thicker one for that. This honestly is really thick, so I might leave that off for now. And following that, this is going to be pretty cool. So we've got his mega big chopping arm on here. We need something for over here, I think. So what I've come up with is I have an old broken Space Marine dreadnought, just a piece of him. And we're going to, he's already quite beat up, but we're going to beat him up even further. And then we are going to, thanks Penguin. Yeah, I think it does make it better. It just kind of like, gives it more realism. Like there would be cables and cords and things powering all these things. But anyways, we're going to be taking this dreadnought, we're going to be chaining him up, and he's actually going to be a flail hanging off the side of this thing so that he can just swing it around. And what I'm thinking is, I'm not sure if I'm just going to have it kind of dangling off the side over here, Can't quite see them over there. Or what I might do, what I have here is some leftover pieces from my Caradron Overlord ship. I might just stick a couple of these together just to make like kind of a shoulder for it, and then have the chain coming out of that. I'm just going to kind of see where I go. But anyways, I'm going to start with the airlines and go from there. I don't expect too many people to pop in, just because it is so late, but anybody that's up that wants to come hang out, appreciate it. Saw a couple comments from my man Penguins there. I press this and that'll come up. He said, I like the gun, adding to those. Yeah, well, thanks so much. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making it. It was a fun little like in-between project. I don't even have an orc army. I've just always wanted a giant scrap titan. I just think they're so cool. The Hell's Reach book is one of my favorites. So, cheers. This is some rum and eggnog here. Yeah, gotta get in that festive spirit. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a quick little measure up. So I think I've got a good spot for this to go on right here. If it attaches there, I'm just measuring, seeing about how long I think I'm gonna need this. Always err on the side of caution and cut yourself a little bit extra, especially because I might end up like wrapping it around a little bit. So probably right about there. Just gonna take some good scissors here, cut this. I imagine you can probably buy any of this stuff at like, well, yeah, any like hardware store or surplus store. I'm sure you can buy these things. Maybe not this exact one, but something similar. Like I said, I've never tried using these before in the hobby, but I just have so much of it lying around at my work that I thought, why not? So I'm just gonna do a little test fitting here and see if I like it better wrapped around. Now, one thing I am seeing here is that it is pretty stiff. So maybe we won't wrap it around too much. I'm just trying to see where that was. I think that can attach there just fine, but I think that is probably quite a bit too long. So I'm just going to trim off until we get to what we think we actually need for this. And that'll be the other challenge will be how well this takes glue. I'm hoping it'll be all right. Alright, there's like there's like a little spot here that it looks like it would attach good. The arm is a little bit fragile, so I'm a little bit worried about that. I think honestly, I think it'll work out easier if we just go. I think if we just go shorter, it'll have a lot better chance of this actually working. It's like putting too much tension on it. So that means this is going to have to attach somewhere down here, but that's fine. Orky stuff is rarely where it's supposed to be, I imagine. So what I might have to do is use some green stuff to attach that. That's fine. I'm not too worried about that. I keep thinking I've got it short enough, and then I have to shorten it even more. I'm gonna have to go fishing for pieces when I'm all done here. Anybody that's watching, because this is a debate I have every year with certain friends and family, rum and eggnog, good or bad? I love it. I think it's super good. This is actually oat nog. Just slightly healthier, but it tastes the exact same. So, like that stuff quite a bit. Yeah, what I think I might do is I might just mix up a little tiny ball of green stuff, just to help attach that, because it is pretty stiff. And then the little connection bit is made of metal, so it's pretty heavy. I just don't know if the glue would really do it on its own. So I'm just going to mix up a little piece like that. just to help hold it in place while the glue's drying and whatever. Sorry I just couldn't really, I didn't have anywhere to set up the camera, so that was a little bit further away. But hopefully you guys can see this all right. Like I said, I was hoping to like do the whole build on camera, but I've just been so busy with the holidays and whatever. And this was just kind of my like chill out at the end of the day thing to work on, so I ended up just saying fuck it and not being too worried about showing the whole thing, but I'll show you guys the fun bit here at the end at least. So yeah, I'm thinking like that. Something like that will look pretty alright. If we don't get it all done tonight, that's fine. I'll do another impromptu live stream over the holidays maybe. I have like a week off right now, so probably get a fair little bit of hobbying time. Okay, that looks like that's gonna anchor pretty well. And then we just need some generic super glue here. I realize my entire face is cut off here, if anybody wanted to see my face. Not drunk yet, so I'm not all red-eyed or anything, so we'll probably get well on our way by the end of this, I imagine. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that all I'm just going to hold everything in place. Give it a good amount of time to set. Like I said, just because it is pretty, like it wants to spring away. I maybe should have even left it longer than that, but put a little more drop of glue on there. I'm not too worried about going overboard with the glue just because it is an orc thing. And then just real quick, I'm gonna just kind of use this little tool here and just push the green stuff up around the base of that thing a little bit better. Just because while I was moving the airline, it pulled away a little bit. It wanted to escape. So, again, I'm not being super duper neat right now just because it's an orc thing and I can always tidy it up a little more later once that green stuff has started to set a little bit. I just want to get it attached for right now. These little tools I'm using, they just came with a little set on Amazon. They're nothing fancy. I know you shouldn't eat green stuff, but I'm too lazy to get my water. Who was I watching the other day where I saw them like full on accidentally stick a thing of green stuff in their mouth? I don't think it was Modern Synthesist. I think he's too good for that. But yeah, so maybe I'll move the camera a little bit. There. So you see we have now attached our airline there. Just put it around. See if we can we focus? Maybe? It doesn't really like it, but anyways, you can see it's like a cool little power cable for the big claw. And yeah, I think that worked out all right so far. So we're not going to touch that. We're just going to give it lots of time to set. Bleh. I'm going to add a little glue to the bottom, just to help really lock it in. Again, not too worried because it's orc stuff, so we can be a little bit messy. Now I think what's going to be pretty easy is to take a couple of these little pieces that I've clipped off and just kind of add them to the legs. And I know you guys can't really see that all too well, but I'm going to kind of poke them up underneath the armor. I forget what this is from. I think this is like the cockpit. It's like the cockpit of Space Marine Flyer or something. Yeah, if you guys want to do your own Stompa like this, the recommendation would be buy the Stompa kit. Super cheap and easy. I actually bought mine used, so it was a little bit cheaper than that even. And then find your nearest Space Marine and or Guard player and just take all their bits. Just take all the bits from them. You'll have a mountain like this tall, but there's so many pieces from there. Like I'm gonna do a deep like in-depth video on this where all the bits are from and how all it was put together. But like there's Lehman Russ bits in there. There's Space Marine Flyer bits in there. There's Baneblade bits in there. Just all kinds of stuff. And yeah, very helpful to have a friend with a good sized collection of their own of one of those factions. And yeah, if you can find one of them, you're probably well on your way to having everything you need. So that already just sits in there nicely on its own. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to hold it in place. Cool. So we've got a line going there. I would like to have maybe one like kind of snaking up from his ankle, like up to his, like filling in this little gap over here, or maybe on this side. So I'm going to spin him around a little bit. You can see there, I mentioned at the start of the video, I did magnetize a bunch of the bigger guns, so this would be like the belly gun, I guess. So that one comes off, a couple of these little ones down here move, the big main one pops right off, and then I have a really cool idea. I've left the whole top with the head can come right off. I'm thinking I might want to try to, I've never done anything like this before, but I might try to put like LED lights in it. I think that could be really cool. So we'll see. I'll just leave it like that for now. But all right, let me take my airline and see where we think we can fit one. That looks pretty good there. Okay. Already looking better. We've got our couple power cables there. Maybe I'll do one more small one coming out the back of his head. Yeah, I'm just going to clip a little piece like so. And we'll see where we think we can attach that. It's so relaxing. So relaxing building orcs instead of other things. There really is no rules. You just do whatever you want. A lot of fun. Green boys are onto something. Alright, so I think we're good on the power cables. Give a little, my boy, my beautiful boy. I think we're good on the power cable so far, and we will move on to trying to get this dreadnought hanging off of here. So, first things first, I need to do a little bit of cleanup on him because I would like this to be a Blood Angel, or an Ultramarines dreadnought, just because that is the dreadnought, that is the Space Marines that my friend has, and I always like to do a little. We always poke fun at each other's armies and whatever. So that sound you're hearing is the sound of glue breaking, because some maniac glued, like, not a dreadnought head. I don't know if you can see that. They glued a friggin' Space Marine head in there. I think this is supposed to be a Blood Angels Librarian dreadnought. I don't remember where I got this from. But, knock that out. We're good. We're gonna get a good blooper for this video if that just goes flying and hits me in the face. Alright, got the head out. We got the head out. There's a couple little Blood Angel symbols. I'm just gonna scrape them off real quick with me knife here. There's one here on his shoulder. But this thing is going to be so banged up and chained up that I'm not super duper worried about making it perfect. I'm actually not sure how I'm going to attach the chain to it. That might require some green stuff, or it might even require a pair of pliers to kind of bend it around it. Yeah, if anybody is here, or if anybody is watching, what, if anything, are you guys working on tonight? Obviously I'm doing this, but I've got quite a bit more on the way. Obviously, busy with Christmas has slowed me down a little bit, but not that much. I just keep getting faster and faster, it seems. So I'm just taking the knife and I'm just adding some chips and scratches. And obviously, if this dreadnought was captured by orcs, he's probably not having a great time. He's using the blade to make some really quick bullet holes. I ain't never seen a dreadnought, ain't never seen a Stompa with a Space Marine dreadnought flail before, so hopefully I'm the first one to come up with this idea. And hopefully I'm actually able to pull it off. I'm not sure how well it's going to turn out, but we're going to try. What did everybody think of that new Space Marine captain guy they previewed? What are your thoughts on that? I know what my thoughts are, but I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. If anybody's there, anybody's watching that saw that. I honestly think it's really cool. And I think if it would have came out like 3 years ago, we would all been jumping for joy. But the problem is they put out a new Space Marine character literally every 5 minutes, and so now it's just boring. Like they just put out all the new friggin' Black Templar stuff, and it's like you literally just created a new Space Marine faction. And obviously, it's not a new faction, but sorry, they just created a whole new Space Marine range of models that pulled it out of their butt, basically. And then they still have to go and give me a new captain. I'm like, oh my god. God, I don't play Space Marines anymore. I can complain about all this stuff like everybody else, not get judged for it. What I think would be kind of cool is if I have like some friggin' spikes like rammed through them. So I'm just going to clip off a couple little pieces of sprue to do that. I'll use the knife here just to make it look real spiky. Alright, so I've just kind of whittled that down to be like a jagged shard of metal. Holy. Space Marine is deeper than I thought. He's a deep boy. It's yeah, so we got like a friggin' spike coming out of his head. I'll make a couple more real quick, just so it's not just the one. One random piece. I never ever run out of uses for sprues. I'm just always using sprues for something, whether it's making blocks, like stone blocks for bases, or other, rocks or whatever for people to stand on, or just like filling in gaps sometimes can be really helpful with them. I've used more. I bet you I've used more sprues, like just straight up sprues, than I have any one real GW kit. It's kind of funny to think about. I think 3 is probably good. It seems like an orky thing to do. Debikis gave him a good fight, and now they're using him as a friggin' weapon on the Stompa. Sounds about right. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I'm going to attempt to wrap some of this chain around him. And we'll see how that goes. Alright, sorry I wasn't talking there for a while. I had a glue explosion. So we have successfully got the dreadnought all chained up. I don't know how well why that's so blurry right there. There we go. A little bit better. So he's successfully all chained up. You can see the metal spikes sticking through him. But we're just going to let that dry for a little bit. Just let that dry for a little bit. And while that's drying, I'm going to figure out what the heck we're going to attach this to. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly put together the Caradron Overlord. I don't know what to call this, whatever it's called. Little flying doohickey. I think this is actually, I think the piece I'm going to make actually is like the turret for this thing, so that's probably quite fitting. So I'm not gonna full on glue it together just yet. I'm just gonna do a quick little mock-up, see how it looks. Said we're just chilling tonight. No huge rush. Let's get these couple extra pieces. See if we need them. Might need these long little bits here for supports or whatever. I don't know about you guys, but I can't not trim off the little spots where you clip the sprue. It just drives me insane. People leave them. Going fast, try not to cut myself. On a stream, that would be a little bit not ideal. Right, now how are these supposed to attach on here? like that. I think this is my last thing of super glue too, so it might be in the danger zone here. If I run out, we might have to start using green stuff to stick everything together, which I have done many times before, but obviously makes it a little bit more difficult. Okay, so we've got that cool little bit there, and I think that's probably just about right, I think, to attach the chain to. Now, what I think I can do is I think I can, between the clippers and the knife, so I think I can probably just make a hole right through this without having to clip off, or sorry, not clip off, without having to get my drill out. Wow, can't talk anymore. Because obviously I don't want to use my drill in the middle of the night, wake up the family. I don't have to, but I am an impatient little child, so I don't want to wait if I don't have to. I'll probably end up having to clip off a bunch of this chain also. Okay, I'm thinking right about there. Just gonna trim off a couple little bits off the bottom to make it sit nice and flat. It's fun when your building works. You can just make all these big decisions on a whim, because if it doesn't work, you're just like, yeah, whatever. I was just using scrap bits anyway. So, for anybody that's just joined, what we're in the process of doing is finishing my gigantic custom Stompa. And what we're trying to do is make a flail for this side. And the flail will consist of a Space Marine dreadnought on a chain going. So I think that'll be pretty fun. We can pull it off. Right. Just going to take our knife here and try to make a hole all the way through this for the chain to attach. Like I said, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'm not going to get my drill out in the middle of the night, wake up the fam. And I don't actually have one of those little hand drills I see some people using. But yeah, that wasn't hard at all. We've already made it through. We're just going to take our time, trim that out a little bit. Make it big enough. What else is new with me? I did watch the newest Warhammer Plus episode, which was the Hammer and Bolter. I did a full review. For anybody that saw it, I did do a full review of that, of Warhammer Plus on YouTube, and it was my first live stream ever, and I accidentally deleted the friggin' thing, so I'm not redoing it. But yeah, the newest one wasn't bad, Hammer and Bolter. Obviously, for anybody that has it, you'll know it was following a Tech Priest today, or not today. It wasn't today, but whenever it was following a Tech Priest, and so that was kind of cool. I don't think we really need that too much here. I don't know if my little clippers here are going to be able to cut through this. Don't want to break my hobby clippers, so I might have to abandon everybody for a moment. I think one person's watching. I think I might have to abandon you guys for one moment and go find my my better cutters, some proper line cutters. But before I do that, let me just see if I can even get a nice hole through this guy without too much drama. We'll probably want to go about there, because the thing is, we don't need very much chain. Let me just try and not break him, but get a little hole going through it. As we saw, it only took a second to get through the other piece there. Yep. Alright, feels like I'm probably already all the way through. We're gonna need it fairly big, just so that we can actually get the chain into it. So anybody that's ever had to resort to this, always be very slow and careful, please, so you don't injure yourself. But if you take your time at it, it's not that hard. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Penguin. I've been missing a couple of your messages, buddy. They weren't popping up for some reason. Let me see. I'm excited to see the crude. I have a riptide stomping on my friend's Tyranid, making a Christmas present for my brother. It's a model car, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I didn't even watch the Auspex Taxis video. Rip your clippers. Yeah. These clippers are really old, so I'm not too worried about it. It's more like rip my knife right now. Trying to make this hole here. This maybe wasn't the best idea, but I am nothing if not stubborn, so I believe we'll get through it together. But that's cool that you're making, or that you said you're making a car for your friend, and then you said you're making another gift for your brother. Very cool. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. And gifts that take work are always the most appreciated, in my opinion. In fact, I wonder if I can just Not quite at the stage of being able to widen that out. I really should have waited till morning with a drill to do this silliness. Alright, let's see if we've made that hole big enough to fit the chain through. So this is my plan now. Because I'm too lazy and too stubborn to go find a better pair of clippers, even though I know they're around here somewhere. The Stompa is so big, and I kind of want him to almost be a little bit heavier anyway, so that he's not so tippy. What I'm thinking is, I make the hole a little bit bigger than I already have, and we can just kind of stuff the extra chain through it. Will that work? Is that a good idea? I'm not sure yet. But we're almost there anyway, so there's no harm in doing a little bit more just to see. Don't ever let anybody tell you, or don't ever think that I'm over here being some professional kit basher. This is usually how things go. It's a lot of chaos, and then I can usually save any mistakes with a decent paint job, and then we're golden, you know. I probably should have been an orc player all along with the kit bashing and the lack of proper technique. It's funny. I love Modern Synthesis. He's probably one of my favorite kit bashers on YouTube, and I see him doing all these like really amazing sculpts and really amazing work, and I'm like, wow, that looks so awesome. Well, better go back to freaking wrecking my knives and wasting tons of green stuff just being an idiot. So I learned no lessons, and I am too stubborn to do anything other than my own way. But that's fine. I accept it. There we go. I think with that, we're probably big enough that we can fit through here. I haven't missed any more comments, have I? Oh, okay. I had it. There was a weird setting on that. That's why I wasn't seeing something. Yep. Okay. Looks like they're gonna fit now. So let me see. Oh no, this one is gonna have to be wider. Okay. Ooh. Almost just lost the dreadnought. Hmm. Probably should have thought of this before. Well, I've got good news and bad news. Bad news is, I think we're gonna have to cut this chain after all. Good news is, I think once we do that, this is all gonna work out just fine. Holy. It's almost as if I took this chain. There we go. From a factory, and that it wasn't meant for models at all. There we go. Okay. You can just call me Khaleesi, Breaker of Chains. It's a Game of Thrones reference. Suppose if I was just going to do that anyway, I probably could have just friggin' oh my god, it's still not big enough. Ah. Alright, we're taking the clippers to it now. This is more than I wanted out of my knight. If there was any other model, it would be a little bit more proper. Works, you can get away with it. There we go. I think it'll all fit now. Yep. Okay. So just gonna work the chain in until we get to close to where we think we're gonna be happy. Ideally, I would like the dreadnought to be kind of halfway up them. So we're just gonna have to see. A little more. Yeah, this is gonna make Tubby here a lot less tippy too, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. So there's our dreadnought. Here's our bit that'll go on the end. And then I think I'm gonna make like a little bit of a crane arm out of those pieces I clipped off. I think they're kind of just right for that. And then I'll call it a night. And I'm pretty tired. I'm sure everybody's got busy days and weeks. currently they're sitting on the ground like that. How far do we think? I think we do want it lifted right up. Keep going a little bit more. Apologies, not talking too much. Probably gonna see me fiddle around with this a fair bit. Don't just have endless things to talk about. There we go. I think we reached where we're gonna reach. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the cap down. That's it. I'm actually going to mix up another little blob of green stuff. And I'm going to use that just as like a stopper to help hold that chain in place. I think that'll work better than trying to glue it. So, mix up some green stuff here. Again. Little blob. This will all this will all get uploaded afterwards also, so anybody can watch it back that way or whatever you'd like to do. Alright, there's my glue. This might turn out to be the coolest thing I've ever made. I know that's kind of heresy for my channel, given that I am the recruit towner guy, but I don't know, this is pretty cool. I also, seemed like a lot of people really liked the custom Lord Discordant that I did. I don't know if any of you guys saw that or if you'd like the video on that. I was thinking I would probably do that one. It seemed like there was quite a bit of interest in it, so of course don't mind doing that. what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take one of these long skinny pieces. This is again from that Caradron Overlord's ship. And I'm going to use that as kind of like a little crane arm or like prop thing, just to help hold the chain out a little bit more, if that makes sense. So this is, I think, going to end up being a little more stable than I had kind of hoped it was going to be, so that's good. Always nice to be surprised that way and not the other way. Yeah, I think that's going to work out pretty okay, actually. What I'm going to do is just take, again, a little bit of the green stuff, use that to help anchor my little crane arm thing here. I went and said how stable it was, and then I snapped the friggin' base bit off, but that's okay. That's why I had mixed up extra green stuff just for this, because I had a feeling that shit was gonna break. Believe it or not, quite heavy to balance a dreadnought this way on a model. Might have been asking a little bit too much this time, but maybe I should use two. Maybe two supports would be better. Make like the triangle of power. Probably not an awful idea. Yeah, using a combination of green stuff and glue. Just try to hold this in place. You can always neaten it up after. I find with a lot of these big and silly things, just getting it together the first time is often the most important part. Trying to find a good spot to attach this thing. Maybe there isn't one. Maybe dreadnoughts just weren't meant to fly like this. Not gonna sit here and say that that is not a possibility. We need more green stuff. Thought I had enough. Holy. I can't believe if anybody's still watching this, props to you. You've got more endurance than me, because I'm fucking dying over here. I think it's gonna work. I think we're at least close to the goal. And then it'll be done. And I can freaking go the hell to bed. What I'll probably do is I'll just goop on green stuff and whatever, just to hold everything together, and then tomorrow I can always patch it up a little bit better, a little bit more. It's holding at the moment, but I'm just concerned I'm gonna go to bed and it's all gonna fall apart. I'll have to find a way to prop this up better. Let it dry really good overnight. I thought this was a really fun little way to end the project. I've never seen anybody else do something like this. For me, that's kind of the best part, is doing stuff that maybe nobody else has done. So yeah, we've got even more green stuff. What I'll do is I'll just take some friggin' a random piece off here and just use that. Extra little bit of plastic never hurt when you're trying to hold something up. perfect, actually. All right. What I'm going to do is we are like an hour into the stream. Good lord. It's about twice as long as I hoped it would be. So, what I'm going to do is anybody that's watching this, or anybody that continues to watch this, I'm going to give you a sneak peek at this guy all done, mostly all done. I'm going to probably tidy up and add a couple little bits in here and there tomorrow, but I believe it's all done. So I'll give you guys a little sneak peek at that. And then, so look forward to, there will be another full, like a proper Kitbashed showcase video coming on this guy later on. It'll be, there's a couple of things coming before that. There's Christmas Crude Army showcase and a couple other things after that. But he'll be coming soon. Just a nice, short video, not this crazy one, but it's been fun. Always fun hearing from you, Penguin. Yeah, it looked like a couple people came and hung out, so that was nice. Thanks for keeping me company. It was cool learning to use these airlines for these bigger models. Obviously, you couldn't really use these for smaller stuff, other than maybe little like pipes lying on the ground. They could probably work for that, like on bases. But for big stuff like this, it's like turn them around here. I think they actually work pretty good. I think they definitely have a use. So that's a new hobby material to keep an eye out for if you guys can find some of that. So I'm going to give you guys a nice little look here. Dun 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 dun. There. Here, I'll just hold him like a toddler. You guys can get a better look. There. So we've got our massive chopping claw, all the guns, all the DACA, and then now we have a Space Marine dreadnought hanging off the side as a little flail. So I think that's pretty cool. So anyways, thanks for watching. Anybody that's here still somehow, props to you, because I know I was not talking that much through that. That was pretty frustrating at times, and yeah, I run out of things to talk about eventually. So thanks for sticking with me if you did. If you like what you see, or you like any of my other videos, I do have a Patreon, and what's cool there is that I'm posting tons of my work in progress stuff, so you don't have to sit through super long boring videos like this. I post all anything that I'm working on. So like for this guy, I had a little mini series going on there where I was just showing like little, as I worked on it, little bits, like I showed like when I was building his head and stuff. So that was kind of cool. And then I'm doing little like painting tutorials and stuff on there, and then any money from there goes right back into making cool stuff for here. So this will be a super teaser, because I guarantee nobody's going to watch to the end of this video, but I actually had some amazing Warhammer, or sorry, whatever you're supposed to say, battle mace artwork commissioned, and it's our favorite bird boys, and I'm telling you, this is the coolest crew artwork that's ever been made. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm very happy to have been able to make that for the community, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. So yeah, rest assured that if anybody does check out Patreon, that any money from that is going to go right towards cool stuff. As also, as soon as we hit 1,000, I'm going to be doing a cool giveaway. So, fucking make your duplicate account, make your Cowden account, subscribe. As soon as we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll do that cool giveaway. And like I said, I've got some cool stuff on the way. So, thanks for watching. Bye for now.